The most interesting thing I came about in early years was different religions. I was always interested. Religion is not really the important thing. The important thing is the belief in a higher force.
Network and connect. Go the extra mile with Alan and Erik. Hey everyone, welcome back to Ace Podcasts and The Extra Mile. Get ready to be inspired by my guest today, Gundhi Wireratunga. Gundhi's life story is nothing short of extraordinary, from teaching across continents to building export businesses in Asia, and even running a job centre in Morocco. She's truly lived a life of adventure, and through it all, she carried a burning question about her own birth. Today, we'll delve into her fascinating journey, including a life-changing revelation in Thailand, and how she's learned to embrace her unique path. Hi, Gundhi. Thanks for coming in today. Gundhi, you've lived such a remarkably diverse life, spanning continents and careers. If you could pinpoint a moment that truly changed your perspective on what's possible, what would that be and why?
Well, first of all, hello to everyone. I'm very happy to be here, and I'm quite thrilled that you are interested in me. So, my life has been a little bit diverse and different from a lot of others. I can realize that. And I think, most important moment was when I realized through reading a book. It was a book about Carlos Castaneda. Maybe you have heard of him. He is like a American anthropologist who went to find out about peyote in the first place, but then he met Red Indian guy, and he taught him everything about life. And in one moment in this encounter, this Red Indian says, "You have to follow your heart." And that has been my total maximum in life.
So in your case, traveling and working in so many different cultures must have provided incredible insights. Can you share a specific experience that challenged your preconceived notions about the world or yourself?
Well, the most interesting thing I came about in early years was different religions. I was always interested in how people perceive the world. And I started reading books about, like, for example, the Tibetan Book of Death and the Bhagavad Gita. And when I then traveled and I got to know the people that are living according to their religion, I actually found out it's not such a big difference between them. It's all like when people are sad, they are sad. When they're happy, they are happy. And when they have contact to you, then it's all fine. So I thought the basics are in all religions totally the same. And that was quite important to realize. And I think that this is also like going through all my life, that learning about different religion is a thing that religion is not really the important thing. The important thing is the belief in a higher force. That's it.
I agree. You've mentioned having a lifelong question about your birth.
Yes.
Can you describe what that question felt like
Okay.
as throughout your life and how it influenced your choices?
Okay. Well, I grew up in a very loving family, and I've got this handicap with my right hand, but it wasn't a real problem, actually. It was something I learned that I can cope with everything. And I was very determined from a very young age to do everything on my own. I can remember when I was like 3 years old, I was only like crying to my brothers and sisters, "I can do it on my own." That's it. So I was very determined to do everything on my own. And that was, of course, helping me. But I had the question in my mind all the time, why do I have this? Not like a biological reason, but something meaningful.
Why me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do I have this? What is the real meaning about this? That was what I was trying to find out. And luckily I did.
So, from teaching to running businesses, you've taken on many different roles. What was the most unexpected challenge that you faced? And when did you learn, or what did you learn from it?
Very unexpected was for me living in England and being capable of working there, speaking the language good enough to do that, and then getting a job that was like very satisfying to me because I could travel a lot through Europe, and I was able to do that job for 10 years. But because it involved a lot of traveling through and of the continent, it was like driving in different directions, in different cars. And it was like also being in, when I was like, it was like that. I was 1 week in England and 1 week somewhere on the continent. And then I was also in that week on the continent every night in a different hotel, in a different town, which meant I would like wake up sometimes in the morning and I had no clue where I was.
Where
And
am
I didn't
I?
know where the light switch is, nothing. And even after like 10 years, I was like finding myself in the plane, being asleep, waking up, and I had no clue where I was flying to. And I didn't dare asking my neighbor, do you know where we are flying to?
Oh,
So,
yes, I can imagine.
yes. So that was a weird experience. And after that, I decided, nah, I have to change this. After 10 years doing this, I have to change it. And I found myself trying to find out where to go next. And then I did like find a spot where I would like to go next, and that was Morocco to Marrakesh. And then I was like faced with a situation. I was having a very comfortable life with a very nice flat, a very nice car, very good paid job, and having to go and tell your director I put my notice in was like, am I really going to do that? And then I asked like the universe or God, please help me. Help me. I need to find this decision now, and I'm not sure. So I asked myself that on a Sunday. And when I came back on the next Tuesday from work, I found a letter in my letterbox. It was a big, huge letter, a black one, and in white was written on it, enough is enough.
So once you got the black envelope, that made you go off and travel all over the place. But you worked in education in very different parts of the world. Can you describe the most significant difference that you saw in the way children were treated or taught?
Well, the difference in education I saw in Africa, in Tanzania. I was there only for a few months, but I could see clearly that the the way of educating is very, very different from the way in Germany. They actually focus on repeating, 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 repeating 10,000 times the same thing. And I thought, oh, these poor kids, it must be really boring for them to go over
Yeah,
and over the same stuff again. But they seem to enjoy it. They seem to love it. And that was a new experience to me that these kids, even though they were repeating every day their stuff, they were so happy to be able to know things after they had repeated them so many times. They were totally happy with it. And I thought, well, that is actually the main thing, that kids are happy with what they are learning and what they are
yeah.
doing. But I have to say, like in Germany, I was also quite fascinated how much the education system had changed from when I started out to what I was like teaching in the end. I was able to teach yoga in the end. That was totally unthinkable when I started out doing it. And I must say also, like it was down to my headmaster in my last years of teaching that I could really feel free of what I wanted to do with the kids. So I felt really at ease doing the teaching also in Germany. And it was quite rewarding, especially for me and the kids. We had a very good relationship. The only problem were the parents. they they had to like really nag at
Yeah.
everything, and that was
So you've had quite a change. Now, when we spoke the other day, you mentioned that you had a revelation in Thailand.
Mm-hmm.
Now, without giving away too many details just yet,
Mm.
can you describe the feeling you had leading up to that moment and what it felt like afterwards?
Well, it was something that I've never experienced before. I was just sitting in the bus, and suddenly I had this movie, like a movie, going in front of my eyes, and I could really see how my past life was. I could see I was in a relationship, I had 3 children, I was not happy at all in my relationship, and I focused like all my love on my first child. And I put like so much into this first child. I didn't want to let him go. And all his life, I didn't want to let him go. Even when he got married, I didn't want to let him go. And I think because I was holding on so much in this life, I can't hold anything. Anything can fall off. Anything.
That obviously affects you very deeply.
Yes.
Are you ready to just
Yes,
carry
yes,
on?
yes, yes, yes. The amazing thing is that this person that was my child in the last life, I've met again this life. And I actually married him. And when I decided that the marriage isn't working out, only after that I could have this revelation. I realized that now I had to let him go. And it was good. And we are still friends.
Did that also give you an answer about your disability too,
Well,
in some way?
it did tell me that I have this as a consequence of that I was holding on too much.
Oh, right. I
So
get.
now I can't hold on to anything. I've lost so many homes, I've lost so many husbands, I've lost so many like different things that I had like accumulated in my marriages. I've lost everything. I was always happy to leave everything behind and stand at the next airport with just one suitcase, and that was it. Start new.
So we left you standing at the airport, holding one suitcase. Many people dream of living abroad.
Hmm.
What advice would you give to someone who wants to create a life as adventurous as yours?
Well, the same advice that I got: follow your heart. That's always the most important. Look where you feel comfortable, where you can like get this feeling of being at home, which I definitely have in Bali. Bali is my home.
Looking back on your journey, what's the one piece of wisdom that you've gained that you wish you could share with your younger self? Apart from just be yourself.
I think I might have made a lot of mistakes, but I don't want to miss them. I think it was perfect in a way. I met so many nice people, sometimes bad people, but it was also necessary. It was good for me to meet these people. So to my younger self, I would just like say, go on, do it.
To quote a sort of a Pink Floyd lyric, just another brick in the wall, every experience.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you've clearly overcome some significant obstacles. Can you describe a moment when you felt truly empowered and what led to that feeling?
Empowered.
Hmm.
Empowered to what? What do you mean? Like empowered for life. That was like, for example, that one time when I found this letter, Enough is Enough. Empowered, I always felt like when I was really, really looking for help and I asked for help and I got it straight away. And that made me feel so strong inside. And I'm 100% sure I will always get it again when I ask for it.
Well, it's clear that these things in your life have deeply affected you and got you quite emotional there.
Mhm.
So I'd like to end on a slightly lighter note, if you don't
Okay.
mind. You've got a T-shirt on there that says "I am a Bonobo."
Yes.
Could you explain what that's all about, please?
The bonobos are the only primates on this planet that don't kill each other. And they live in like a community which is ruled by females. And whenever they come around problems or aggressions or something like that, they solve it with sex. I like that idea.
There's a message for all our viewers. Excellent. Okay, if you've enjoyed what you've seen and heard today, please come back again next time. We release these videos fairly regularly, about 3 or 4 a month. If you like it, please share it, give us a like, give us an upvote, and by all means, make a comment. Ask us a question, suggest subjects for the future. Thanks for coming again. See you next time. Bye-bye.